Geoffrey Laurent. We're in the gallery. Wasn't like this when we were here.
No, it wasn't.
No. Was it good for you?
Christchurch? Yeah, I think I was very lucky to come to Christchurch. I came from Scarborough Primary School. I loved sport there, but didn't do anything academic. Came here, didn't do much academic here, started in 4C, I think, but fantastic school.
I knew I'd seen you somewhere.
Yeah.
4C, that's where I started.
Yeah.
Plummeted to 4D. But you climbed.
Yeah, sort of. Not really. I mean, I was definitely not in any way classified as an academic in those days.
No.
I tell you, I did love science. I mean, I had a few good teachers. I think if you get one or two good teachers in your life, you're lucky. And this will surprise people, maybe, but Wally Gray, I thought, was very early on and inspired me about science. And Alan Blackwood convinced me I could do maths, and that was very important.
That's right.
I was useless at everything else. I got 36% for leaving economics.
Well, you beat me. I got 7.
Oh, well, that's, yeah, actually.
Sorry, no, economics. I got 3% for economics.
I not only beat you, I killed you.
Yes, 7 was for something else. No, I don't remember you as being academic either. I remember you for your lovely tailored pants.
All right.
and your amazing ability with the yo-yo.
Oh.
You were incredible.
I won a crate of Coca-Cola for Yoyo and managed to get shortlisted for the Coca-Cola Yo-Yo competition, which was held in His Majesty's Theatre, I think.
How did you go there?
Not well. I couldn't do the loop-the-loop that day.
Oh, no.
Failed on loop-the-loop.
Yeah.
But apart from that, baby in the cradle, everything else worked well.
Yeah, you could do everything. And the dog in the manger, and the horse over the stable.
Yeah, you obviously weren't a yo-yo man yourself.
Just making it up now. So, where did you get those tailored pants from?
Those tailored pants. Well, my father worked for Foy and Gibson in town. Of course, they don't exist now. And I think, everything was about money. And I think the Christchurch pants were more expensive than the ones I were given by my parents. But, I mean, in the end, I didn't really like them because I think I felt a bit different. And of course, I'd come from another school. I was a bit envious of the kids that were already here. And my sister told me when I came, I asked her for advice because I was going to this new school. I was very nervous. And she said, well, just talk to everybody. That's all you have to do. Just go up to groups and say, hi, I'm Geoffrey Laurent. So I did this endlessly, and I think everyone thought I was a complete nutcase.
Yeah, well, we certainly did in the boarding house. What do you remember of the boarding people? Do you remember thinking, who are these wild and crazy, brutal-looking boys up there on the hill?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it as a them and us thing with boarding. I had good mates in the boarding house. Maybe they stuck together a bit more, but don't remember a divide.
No. I don't. I mean, there was a divide, but I worked at getting across it. So you're here. You're not great in the classroom. You're a yo-yo champion. You've got the pants. You leave. You're a school prefect in your final year, captain of cricket, of course. And do you pass your leaving a matric and go straight to university? Yeah,
I passed. I got distinctions in maths and sciences, but failed English. And as you'll remember, John, you were good at English. But as you will remember, in those days, maybe it's the same today, if you didn't pass English, you couldn't go to university.
No, in fact, I failed English because I, along with a couple, I think Philip Snook and a couple, probably Brett Jones, I got up early that morning, went down to Cottesloe and stole Don McDonald's board from the back of the garage, surfed until about 7, ran all the way back to school and fell asleep in English. And I think
in
I
the
finished
exam.
in the exam. Finished
that's
up with
not
that.
good.
No, 45% was one of my highest marks.
Well, you remember Furry Beatson? He's older than us, but Furry, I see him around a bit now, but I admire him to this day because he's the only person I've ever seen walk into an examination with thongs on, having clearly just come from the beach.
Wow.
That I will never forget.
No, I didn't have that kind of courage. Now, we remember you, of course, at the end because you go to university. I remember because I was playing football for collegians. You play for the university football club, and then you
played 1 year for collegians actually.
Oh, did you? 1 year for
yeah,
collegians, and then we must have won a couple of games that year, and then you went to Claremont, centre half forward for Claremont for a couple of seasons.
Yeah, very short and inglorious career at Claremont.
And then you disappear. You just go. And nobody hears from you again until now. And here you are now, and everyone's saying, Geoffrey Laurent, where's he been? What's he been doing?
Yeah, I mean, I coached Uni Footy Club for a few years, which was great fun. Yeah, look, I went to France. I always knew I'd leave Perth for a while, and as much as I loved it, and I had very good friends here, which I've maintained, but I went to France. So, got some French relatives. I always wanted to live in France, so I went to France, lived there for a year, working at a research institute in the middle of France, and that really began a bit of a love of Europe.
So your degree from UWA is a Bachelor of
BSc.
PhD or BSc?
BSc, and then I did a PhD after that. So I had a PhD from the University of Western Australia, with some time spent in England. But yeah, I mean, I've then went and lived in Europe for 32 or 3 years.
32 years, and you had children. How many children did you have?
Yeah, 3 children. But you know what was wonderful? I'd come back, and people would not know I'd gone.
Really?
Yeah.
These are people who don't leave the house? What sort of people are they?
No, they're just, it's just that, actually, when I come back, I would organise a bit of a group to get together, perhaps at a pub, old mates, and I'd find they hadn't seen each other since the last time I was here. So actually, I think people are busy, they're doing things. But I remember seeing Jamie Lowe in a pub, and he said, "G'day, Jeff, I haven't seen you for years." And I said, "Yeah, no, good to see you, Jamie." He said, "Yeah, but gee, you look a bit thin, you don't look very well." And so, I mean, anyway, we had a good conversation, but it was quite clear he didn't know that I'd been away. It was great, I've been away for 20 years.
And you're back now for keeps.
Yeah, look, I've got connections still in Europe. I work there a bit, and my kids are in various places in Europe. So I go back a lot. I still have property there, but yeah, no, I mean, I'd say this is home again now, and I'm delighted to be back, loving it, being back.
You're on the campus, Sir Charles Gardner.
Yeah.
You're head of the Lung Institute.
Yeah.
You came back because of the job. You got the job.
Yeah, I came back to head a new centre for regenerative medicine. And then since I've been back, I've acquired the job as the head of lung as well. The lung
You're
institute.
building a little...
Not really. I mean, they were desperate to get someone to lead this new institute. So I'm covering it. It's what I did in London. I was the head of a lung research institute there. So it was.
And how are your lungs, by the way?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
Could be better.
Could be. So you've married a WA girl who went to Loreto.
Yes.
Exactly, I remember her. She was friends with some friends of mine.
Yeah, Lal Bailey in those days.
So you take her to Europe.
Yeah.
You leave her there.
Yeah.
And you come back with somebody new from France.
Well, yeah,
it's
okay. You've got it's a sort of, it's a summary that misses a few issues, but yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay.
And what are you doing in Europe? What are you working on? What is it? What is it going to help us? Those of us who have been smoking ever since, for example, I don't know if Jamie Lowe's still smoking, but these guys who obviously have got respiratory issues. Are you working on something that can be of assistance to them?
Yeah, I wish I hadn't mentioned Jamie Low and smoking, because one of my worst memories of the worst thing I did was to dog Jamie into smoking when I was a slightly self-righteous prefect. But anyway, I hope he's forgiven me. But yeah, look, well, one of the really fun things I'm doing here is leading a centre for regenerative medicine. We've already got some stars in that area. Fiona Wood's one of them, the skin specialist. There's a guy called Yoyo who's a liver specialist. But I mean, this is a really transformational area of medicine. The concept that you can use stem cells and make tissues regenerate that are really not going to recover in any other way, and probably are not going to be treatable with normal pharmaceutical approaches. So, you know, the concept, I mean, we're not there yet. In fact, stem cells, I've got a few areas that they're used, but for the really big complaints, cancer, for joint diseases, for age-related degenerative diseases, for Alzheimer's disease, they still really haven't cracked it. But the concepts are fantastic. So,
how are you going for funding?
Well, good. I mean, respiratory in particular is very good in Perth. So we get about a third of the national funding in that area here. So we do very well. I mean, what I do notice though is that there's much less funding for research in Australia than there is in Europe. The government, it's not that the government are particularly mean, although they're not generous here. They give a smaller percentage of the GNP than other countries. But the big problem is we don't have a culture of philanthropy here that you see elsewhere. And also, there aren't as many organisations giving out money. I mean, in Britain, for example, there's a Wellcome Trust giving